my name is Ramon Hervas, and this is Archery Basics. I'm going to be going ahead and explaining to you archery and its components. First, we're going to start off with its components: a bow, a quiver, arrows, wrist protector, arrow puller, and a target. We're also going to need a bowstringer. Using a bowstringer like this one here, you're going to connect both ends to the limbs of the bow, which are the ends, and you'll be able to string up the bow to prepare it to fire. Here is a bow that I usually fire. It's a recurve bow. It's rated at 35 pounds, meaning that when I pull the string back, I'm pulling back 35 pounds, and when it hits its target, it's about 35 pounds of strength. Here's a compound bow. These are rated higher. This one's about 65 pounds. Now, the interesting thing about compound bows is with the set of pulleys, even though you're pulling back 65 pounds initially, as you see the gentleman here, when he gets all the way back to the resting point where he's at right now, he's only holding about 10 pounds. This will allow him to stand here and aim longer. Now, to string up a bow, here's an English longbow, and my wife is improperly trying to string the bow. She stuck the bow between her legs, and why it's dangerous is because it can snap back and hit her in the head or get out of her hands and hit somebody else. We do not do this. To string up a bow, you're going to have a bowstringer and your bow. You're going to connect a bowstringer, both ends, to the limbs of your bow, which are both ends, as you see here, and then you're going to put your foot on the bowstringer and you're going to pull up on the bow as you slide the bowstring into the notches of both ends, as you see her doing it here in the video. And in this other video, you're going to see her completed. She's checking both ends of the limbs to make sure that the bowstring is connected properly. As you see here, the bowstring is connected to the notches at both ends of the bow. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the improper stance and the wrong way to hold the bow. And using my son here, this is a 10-pound English longbow. It is basically a good starting bow for children. And as you see here, his left wrist is turned in, which is wrong. It won't allow him to have any strength to pull back on the string. Elbow is down. He's not using any of his back muscles. He's trying to use his bicep. He's not going to even be able to pull the string back. Another thing that he's doing incorrectly, like I said, his elbow is down, and he's holding the arrow incorrectly on the bowstring. Another thing that you do not do when you pull back on the bowstring is aim up. As you see here with my wife, she's pulling back on the English longbow while the arrow's pointing up. The reason why you don't do this is if you accidentally let go of the arrow, you don't know where it goes. Here's a little video demonstrating this. Now, she's not going to let go of the arrow. It's just showing you that it's the wrong way of doing it. Here's a diagram of how when you pull back on the string, it's actually pulling the limbs back, and that's where you get your strength. The gentleman, as you can see, well, you can't see in this, but you use your back muscles, squeeze on your back, stick out your chest as you pull back, and you want to keep your elbow high. You're not using your bicep, you're using mostly your back. Here in this with my wife, you'll see as she gets ready to pull, she has a nice straight arm, straight wrist, elbow high, she's pulling back. She's holding the arrow correctly with 3 fingers. You can do it with 2. And we're going to have a little video of here. She's going to be pulling the arrow back while the arrow is pointing straight ahead. She's preparing to aim here. Alright, here we go. From down to up. Perfect. Another thing that we have here is another still. This is a lady, nice arch back. She's using her back muscles so she can stand here longer to take aim at the target. Elbow nice and high, left arm nice and straight, wrist straight. This is going to be a good shot right here. And a point of view of this kind of a shot is here's my wife. My wife shoots aiming down the shaft of the arrow, which is perfectly fine. You can see here her elbow's high, left arm is straight out, wrist is straight. Now the way I aim is I aim from the tip. I technically use the tip of the arrow and I aim it toward the target. It's a learned skill, and a lot of archers do this way of shooting. Now here I am using my recurve bow in one of the archery tournaments that I was involved in. Elbow high. Here I am again using one of my other bows. This is a Hungarian combat bow. And then here is an English longbow being fired by a tall guy. And you notice the string doesn't get pulled back very. Now when you fire at a target, you always want to fire at safe targets. Not like this. This is not a safe target. You want to make sure that whenever you're shooting at a target, that you're not shooting toward people, but at a target itself. And this is what a target should look like at the end of the day. And I want to go ahead and say thank you to my wife, my son, and my soon-to-be daughter for helping me do this video. And I hope you enjoyed basics of archery. And watch out for any more videos that I'll have come out about shooting. Have a good day.